What? Like, how the f did that get cheers, man? Again, how is this getting cheers? Okay. Before I show you what you guys obviously want to see, just give me a second to explain what the hell this video is all about. I recently went to the world premiere of the Jujutsu Kaisen Concert in London, where the unbelievably talented Papageno Orchestra did a live performance of the best songs in JJK that fell under Hiroaki Tsutsumi's impressive resume as music director of the series. He was actually there in person, which was so cool, as well as another surprise guest that performed a very popular song from season 3. More on that later though. The theatre was packed, the songs were all accompanied by clips playing on the big screen, and as if all that wasn't awesome enough, the audience reactions to each character's appearance were unreal. As far as I'm concerned, phone recordings were allowed, so naturally I captured as many cool moments as I could. However, since all the music is copyrighted, and since I can't find a single piece of information about whether I'm allowed to post my recordings online, I'm gonna play it safe and only show the actual reaction moments, but I guess that is kind of what you're here to see anyway. But this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna show all of the best reaction moments for each of the 15 characters and then rank them 1 to 15 based on a total cheer score. I will give each clip a cheer duration and a cheer intensity score out of 10. Then, using super complex mathematics, I calculated a made-up total score for each clip. And yeah, sure, the method is kinda low effort and doesn't make any sense, but the final rankings actually ended up being pretty damn accurate, so I decided to stick with it. As always, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Once more, I want to emphasize how amazingly talented everyone involved in this show was. It was truly incredible. I'm so glad I got to see it. And let's get right into the video. Okay, let's quickly whiz through spots 15 to 6, starting with Mai, who, well, let's just say I'm surprised she even had fans. I'm not a misogynist, I just don't care about Mai. She only had the one clip with a cheer duration of roughly 3 seconds and a 3 out of 10 cheer intensity, which gives us a total cheer score of 0.6. Yeah, I literally just add the duration and intensity scores of each clip together and then divide by 10, so it will give me a cool number. Don't think about it too hard. 14th place is a tie between Noritoshi Kamo and Kusakabe with a total cheer score of 0.7. Yeah, Kamo had one clip with a duration of 3 seconds and an intensity score of 4. That is low-key probably just because of Megami anyway, but we're gonna give it to Kamo. Kusakabe, however, is a pretty funny one, because no one cheered for him, at least not at first. He came on screen once towards the end and no one cared, which really upset me because if Mai gets a cheer then like surely the GOAT does. So the next time he came on screen I decided to take matters into my own hands by letting out one solitary cheer into this massive crowd of people, which was very scary, but my GOAT deserved it. Yep, it only lasted about a second, but I decided to cheat and just give him a 6 out of 10 for intensity, simply because of the dedication it took to do that. Now in 13th place, we have Yuki Tsukumo. Her last-minute appearance earned her a cheer duration of 4 seconds, which I think was probably the average cheer for most of these, to be honest, with some exceptions, and a cheer intensity of 6 out of 10. In spot number 12, we have Inumaki. His one single cheer had a duration of 4 seconds and I gave it an intensity score of 6.5 out of 10, meaning his total cheer score rounds up to 1.1. Funnily enough, 11th place was actually another tie between Maki and Toji. They each had a total cheer score of 1.2. Unfortunately, this was the only Maki clip shown because the only season 3 songs they performed were from episode 1, for the most part. She got a cheer duration of 4 seconds and I gave her an intensity score of 7.5. Now, Toji was shown a fair bit more than Maki, but he only got the one cheer for his first appearance because the rest of his appearances got overshadowed by you-know-who. Toji landed himself a 4-second cheer duration with an intensity score of 8 out of 10. And yes, that is technically more than Maki, but we're doing this to 1 decimal place, so suck it, they're equal. Anyway, time for the top 10. Now, 10th place is taken by no one. That's because I actually gave this spot to the song known as Delirious. Yeah, normally people are cheering for the characters and cool moments, but this one song is apparently so iconic that the bloody title card had people freaking out. With a cheer duration of around 7 seconds and an intensity score of 7 out of 10, this banger landed itself a solid 1.4 cheer score. And also, let's just ignore the fact that half those cheers were probably for Gojo, alright? Trust me, he gets enough. But yeah, honestly, seeing a live performance of this absolute banger was so cool, and I 100% understand why people cheered for it. 9th place actually had a lot of potential, but unfortunately, I was stupid and didn't record right from the start. But from memory, I can tell you that Megami had an estimated total cheer score of like 1.9, thanks to him getting one massive cheer in his first appearance and then literally nothing else. The same, unfortunately, applies to Yuji Itadori, who takes spot number 7 with an estimated total cheer score of 2.2. Again, his first appearance did most of the heavy lifting, but unlike Megami, he did at least get some more crowd attention later on during this clip. I gave this clip a cheer duration of roughly 4 seconds, and also a 6 out of 10 for intensity, which means if we add this on to his off-screen cheers, it gives him a score of 2.2. Also, I know, it seems like I missed a spot in between Yuji and Megami. Well, that's because spot number 8 actually goes to Nobara Kugisaki, who gets the same numbers as Yuji from that Black Flash clip, plus a solid cheer from her introduction that I did manage to record. This clip earned her another 5 seconds of cheer duration and an additional 5 out of 10 intensity score, meaning she got a total cheer score of bang on 2. Just less than Yuji, but somehow still more than Megami. And finally, 6th place goes to... Now, I gave that first clip an 8.5 out of 10 for intensity, just due to how passionately that one girl booed. The next one was insane too, so I gave it a 7 out of 10, despite Kenjaku probably not being the actual reason for the cheers, but again, we're gonna ignore Gojo. With 5 seconds of total cheer time, that gave him a score of 2.5. Anyway, enough for all these small fries, it's time for the main event, the top 5. Right then, coming in at 5th place, we have... I gave the first cheer a solid 7 out of 10 intensity score, and the second a 5 out of 10 intensity score. Sure, to be honest, those scores are nothing crazy, but Todo absolutely wipes the floor when it comes to cheer duration per clip. Seriously, that first clip is like 8 seconds, with the next one being even longer at 10 seconds. Everything else before this is like 3 or 4 seconds. That means Todo achieved a total cheer score of 3. But seriously, no one should be surprised by that. I was barely taking part in the cheering at all before Todo showed up, but when I saw that Boogie Woogie title card, I physically couldn't help myself. Anyway, coming in 4th place, we have... Yeah, this one really just shouldn't surprise anyone either, to be honest. That first clip had literally nothing to do with Chozo, by the way. They just teased his face on screen before the intermission and the crowd lost it. I'd give that one an 8.5 out of 10 for intensity, and I think it lasted about 4 seconds. The second and third clips were of course the iconic bathroom fight scene, with clip 2 having a cheer duration of around 5 seconds, and I gave it an intensity score of 8 out of 10. Clip 3, which was literally just another angle of him in the same scene by the way, had a cheer duration of 3 seconds and an intensity of 6 out of 10, meaning Chozo's gained a total cheer score of 3.5. Now, for the really big ones though, the top 3. Insert dramatic pause. In 3rd place, it is of course the one true winner and GOAT of Jujutsu Kaisen. All 4 Yuta cheers added up to a total cheer duration of 15 seconds. I gave the first clip an intensity score of 6 out of 10, the second clip a 7 out of 10, the third clip a crazy 9 out of 10, and the final clip another 7 out of 10, meaning Yuta rightfully claimed a total cheer score of 4.4, and yes, I promise I'm not biased at all. Look, I'm not a professional cameraman and the audio quality on my recordings really isn't all that great, but I was literally there and it's not something I'm ever gonna forget, so you're just gonna have to trust me on this. Moving on, second place is awarded to... Yeah, I knew that people loved Nanami, but I massively underestimated just how much. I also really was not expecting them to break my heart all over again, showing this damn death scene. Clip 1 had a cheer duration of around 5 seconds, and I gave it an intensity of 8 out of 10. Clips 2 and 3 were mostly screams of anguish, but they still lasted for around 14 seconds and 5 seconds respectively. These moments already had the crowd putting in some crazy work, but that one dude shouting Nanami and then everyone shouting it back pushed those final clips all the way up to a solid 9.5 out of 10 for me. That means Nanami gained a total cheer score of 5.1. Good for him. And finally, last but not least, we have first place. I'm sure you figured out who it is by now, and I doubt it surprised you at all, but still, he blew everyone else on this list out of the water because of the sheer number of times he appeared and got people cheering. It was actually unreal. Normally a character kind of makes their first appearance, everyone cheers, and then every other clip shown is sort of just like, you know, normal noise. But nah, it was like literally if you cut from a scene of Gojo to another scene of Gojo, they're gonna start cheering. If Gojo moves, they're gonna start cheering. If he speaks, they start cheering. Yeah, there are loads of different cheers to go through for this dude, so I think I'm just gonna speed through them bit by bit. Clip 1, Gojo's first appearance. Cheer duration, 4 seconds, intensity, 8 out of 10. Clip 2, Gojo reveals his eyes. Cheer duration, 4 seconds. Intensity, 6 out of 10. Clip 3, Teen Gojo smashes through a building. Cheer duration, 4 seconds. Intensity, 5 out of 10. Clip 4, The Honored One. Duration, 6 seconds. Intensity, 8 out of 10. What? How the f*** did that get cheers, man? Duration, 3 seconds. Intensity, somehow 7.5 out of 10. Again, how is this getting cheers? But yeah, clip 6, duration, 3 seconds. Intensity, 5 out of 10. I don't even know at this point. He's literally just a JPEG staring at the camera like, whatever, man. Duration, 2 seconds. Intensity, 3 out of 10. Fuck you. Through sheer number of cheers, Gojo managed to push his total cheer score up to a whopping 7.5, bruv. Yeah, sure, you could say it's only this way because there were more Gojo clips than anyone else, but doesn't that mean Gojo's moments are the most iconic and deserving of being shown? But now that the list is concluded, I'm sure you're thinking I have a crazy hate boner for a certain someone who doesn't seem to have made it in there. But trust me, I'm as upset as you are that our glorious King Sukuna was nowhere to be seen. He did show up in the first episode very briefly, where he got some cheers that I didn't manage to record, and I can't really remember all too well because it was literally for a split second. And then he just sort of disappeared. I imagine it was due to licensing issues or something, but the only downside of this show was that it completely skipped past Sukuna's antics in Shibuya. No Jogo fight, no Maharaga fight, no domain music, nothing. He might have even beaten Gojo and claimed first place if they had played his music, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Still though, this show was absolutely unreal. I do not think I will ever forget those 2.5 hours, ever. Sure, there may not have been any openings or Sukuna tracks played, likely due to very complex licensing issues, but that was all kinda to be expected. What wasn't expected was to get a super wholesome speech from the music director of the series, Hiroaki Sutsumi, whose name I'm sure I just butchered and I'm very sorry for that. But then after his speech, he called out fucking Joji onto the stage to give a truly 10 out of 10 live performance of Yoake no Uta, the ending song for season 3, which I think is probably a top 3 JJK song of all time. Seriously, since season 3 drops, I think it has become a close contender with Aizo for my most replayed Spotify track. Hearing and seeing the original artist perform it live on stage was actually just something else. He actually played a short version right at the start, but then came back out at the end of the show and did the full thing at 120% potential with the orchestra in the back, which was such a surreal experience. I can't play the full song because of copyright, but here's a little teaser. So yeah, Gojo may have won the contest for the characters, but the real winner was absolutely Joji. Such an incredible voice, amazing confidence, and so much talent. If the Jujutsu Kaisen concert ends up in your area during its world tour, then I 100% recommend it because it was phenomenal. And no, this video is not sponsored or anything, I'm just a special grade glazer. Right, I'm just gonna yap for a second before I end the video because I'm sure lots of you did enjoy this video. I had a great time making it and I obviously wanted to make good use of the recordings I got, otherwise they're just gonna rot in my camera roll. But considering I haven't posted in nearly a month, this might feel like a slightly lazy or filler video, and it was definitely quite low effort as much as I enjoyed it. That's because I'm currently working on some very big projects that you'll get to see soon, one of them being a hour-long modular review, the other being even more exciting than that. It's actually ridiculous. It's so much more exciting than that. Does mean I haven't had a lot of time, but I felt bad about not posting, so while I'm working on this other stuff, I kind of just crapped out this video to give you something. Don't think about it too hard. It was just a bit of fun, alright? Alright, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit.